Big tough guy, wasn't he? That was 72 hours ago, by the way. 72 hours ago. Then what happened? Oh, well, Diane Abbott wasn't happy. She wasn't happy. So he's U-turned, hasn't he? Now, if you're on PIP, apparently you're basically still going to get it. And if you're on universal credit for your health, then apparently you're still going to get that as well. And it could cost us around £4.5 billion, which means what? We came into possession of a leaked X-ray from Sir Keir Starmer's last medical appointment. I think we can show you it, can we? No spine. Absolutely no spine there, is there?
Keir Starmer, once hailed as the savior of the Labour Party, now finds himself at the center of a political storm. A live TV leak has exposed a hidden £4 million hedge fund donation, sending shockwaves through British politics as calls for his resignation grow louder. Another bombshell emerges, £22 billion missing from public finance plans. Could this be the end for Starmer? The clock is ticking, and the consequences are devastating. It all started with a vision. Keir Starmer, the man who promised to restore integrity and rebuild the Labour Party, was supposed to be the voice of the people. But just minutes ago, everything changed. What was once seen as a hopeful future for British politics has been reduced to a scandal of epic proportions. The nation's trust in its leaders has been shattered. And at the center of it all is Keir Starmer. The illusion of Starmer as the knight in shining armor evaporated in an instant. During a live broadcast, a devastating leak dropped a bombshell, linking the Labour leader to a mysterious £4 million hedge fund donation. A sum so large it immediately raised eyebrows. But that wasn't the worst part. The real twist. This wasn't a one-time donor. It was a systematic relationship that stretched over the course of an entire year. Whispers of private meetings and secret deals between Starmer's inner circle and hedge fund representatives have now exploded into the public eye. The reaction was swift. The political world once again is reeling. Social media has erupted with hashtags like #StarmerExposed and #Resign Now. It's trending all over the UK. And it's not just a few disgruntled voices. The country is speaking, demanding answers. How could the leader of the Labour Party, the party of the people, accept funding from wealthy hedge fund owners with deep ties to the very financial institutions responsible for austerity measures? The ones who caused years of suffering for working-class families? How could this have gone unnoticed? As the details began to unravel, more documents surfaced, revealing not just one donation, but multiple. Secret meetings between Starmer's close aides and hedge fund representatives were meticulously planned. Behind his speeches about equality and fairness, the truth was far darker. Starmer's backers, the very people funding his rise, were billionaires with vested interests in privatization and deregulation. This wasn't a leader fighting for the common folk. It was the exact opposite. A puppet of the rich, grassroots. Labour supporters, the very foundation of Starmer's political rise, are now in an uproar. A longtime Labour member spoke out in fury, saying, "We didn't fight for this party just to see it sold to the highest bidder." The scandal has sparked a wave of investigations into Starmer's finances, with former aides now speaking out. Anonymous sources from inside Labour HQ are warning that this is only the beginning, hinting at even more explosive revelations yet to come. One insider, visibly shaken, told reporters, "If the public knew the full story, Starmer would be finished by morning." The situation has become dire, with Labour MPs quietly holding emergency meetings, debating whether to push Starmer out before the damage becomes irreversible. But is it too late? The damage has already been done, and it's growing by the hour. At town halls across the UK, the anger is palpable. At one local event, a furious voter shouted, "Put him in jail." If this were a working man, he'd already be in handcuffs. Public opinion is turning against Starmer in the worst way possible. A flash poll conducted by an independent agency revealed that 62% of Labour supporters under the age of 35 now want Starmer to resign immediately. For a leader who built his reputation on trust and integrity, that's a devastating blow. The very demographic that once stood by him now feels utterly betrayed, just when it seemed things couldn't get worse for Starmer. They did. A stunning new report has revealed a shocking £22 billion hole in Labour's public finance plans. What was initially dismissed as a mere miscalculation is now being scrutinized as a potential cover-up. The missing funds are tied directly to Starmer's shadow economic proposals, a massive black hole with no clear explanation. The public is demanding answers. Where did the money go? And why were Labour's own promises of NHS reform, green energy funding and welfare expansion built on a financial foundation that was crumbling from the start? Independent analysts are now questioning the legitimacy of the entire Labour platform. Opposition leaders have gone on the offensive, calling Starmer's actions a deliberate deception. One Conservative MP didn't mince words, saying, "If this were a company, the CEO would be behind bars." The accusations aren't just about bad planning anymore. They're about corruption, manipulation, and potentially illegal activity. Even Labour's own MPs are starting to lose faith. One senior figure concerned about the party's future stated, "We can't go into an election with this man in charge. He's dragging the whole party into the mud." Online, the public is taking to social media to express their outrage. A new viral movement is gaining traction, with signs reading, "Where's the £22 billion Keir?" popping up across cities and towns. The public is no longer accepting vague denials and half-hearted explanations. Economists are warning that, if these numbers aren't addressed quickly, Labour's entire financial platform could collapse under the weight of its own lies. The trust that once carried Starmer to the top is now in tatters. His leadership, once praised for its financial transparency and clarity, has become a punchline. Even Labour's youth wing is calling for an independent audit of the party's finances. But perhaps the most concerning development of all is the growing fracture within Labour's ranks. Senior financial advisors have resigned, citing ethical concerns about the party's actions. One of them, speaking anonymously, said, "I couldn't stay silent. What's happening isn't just bad planning, it's morally wrong." While Labour's opponents are sharpening their knives, Labour insiders are scrambling to contain the damage. Internal briefings are focused not on crafting a message of hope, but on managing the party's impending collapse. Political ads are flooding social media, showing the stark contrast between Starmer's promises of transparency and the damning reality of missing billions. For the first time in years, the political landscape is shifting. Starmer's political future is in jeopardy, and the entire Labour Party is teetering on the edge. And even if Starmer steps down, the questions will remain. Who approved the hedge fund meetings? Where did the £22 billion go? Why were whistleblowers silenced? How long has this been going on? The answers are now being demanded not just by the media, but by Parliament and possibly law enforcement. This is no longer just a political scandal, it's a national crisis. And for Keir Starmer, the clock is ticking. This isn't just about a leader losing his grip on power. It's about the very future of the Labour Party. Whether or not survives this storm, his political career and the trust of millions may never recover. The world is watching, and time is running out. This was today's important update. We want to make it clear that our videos do not contain any misinformation. Our only goal is to deliver true and verified news to you. If you enjoyed the video, please share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to the Info Britain channel. Thank you.